And you have to almost turn down better opportunities to stick at that show. That's why you always see people that seem to despise the show that made famous.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Blake wanted to do bigger things and probably thought she was above that. I mean, once you you do these shows, you memorize a couple lines. It's not rocket science. They're not out there doing like, Philip Seymour Hoffman level act.
There's clear breadcrumbs leading all the way in the past that show she was out here trying to destroy other co-stars' names because she just was in her feet.
No, I wasn't at all. I knew that was the last thing I wanted to do. But also before I started acting, I knew that was the last thing that I wanted to do. And then I did Sister, and I was like, this is...
An ex-gay girl who is also an extra Gossip Girl. The group dynamics and the less than glamorous reality of production were recently illuminated by Dave Neal's behind-the-scenes revelations about his time on the set of the popular adolescent drama. While many fans enjoyed the show's high-class atmosphere, Neal disclosed in an open conversation that the truth behind the scenes wasn't always as lovely. He claimed that one of his most startling observations was that Blake Lively frequently looked depressed while filming. Fans are interested in what it's like to be the star of a show like Gossip Girl because of his remarks.
Weird connections. And I tell you what, Blake Lively looked miserable back in the day, and I've always tried to give her grace and always tried to say, you know what, maybe she's just trying to memorize her lines. But, here we all are, she doing some spring dance scene in January in New York City, where next to nothing outside, they literally have heaters to kind of melt all the snow. And then there she is in her plush fur complaining about, day when we're getting paid, $112.
Former Gossip Girl extra Neal recently shared his thoughts on the backstage environment of the well-liked teen drama, concentrating on the characters' experiences during filming. Discussions concerning the demands placed on actors on such popular series have been rekindled by Neal's remarks.
The Gossip Girl. They had a bad rate, the CW rate. They pay you less even in the union than other shows. So, yeah. So not a fan, but it was culturally speaking. In New York, I remember days that cast was true Beatles. They really were. You'd see Ed Westwick running from one location to another with a bunch of girls chasing after him. It was a wild time to be alive.
So wait, do you have any details on the Penn Badgley and Armie Hammer of it all? Because we're hearing now that Blake Lively, there was an old interview in, I think it was Glamour magazine in the UK, where she talks about poisoning the cast against Penn Badgley because she didn't like him when he was brought onto the set. And then we've also heard these resurfaced stories from Armie Hammer where he claimed
week since the Gossip Girl account tweeted that picture of cast and everybody freaked out. And there's just been nothing from that. Is that just like a hit at the new show? Like, oh, this new show sucks. Just popping in to say the new show sucks. Popping in to say you guys sullied our good name with this new show sucks. XOXO Gossip Girl. That show got canceled, right?
Yeah.
It was not good.
I didn't watch it.
I dabbled in
Lively, who played the legendary Serena Vanderwoodsen, has previously expressed her personal thoughts about the drama's harsh tone. Lively said in an interview that the production process seemed less like traditional acting and more like being at the heart of a marketing machine.
To any of my characters, I've played a crack addict Boston, I've played an Upper East Side princess. I think that that's the safety in that, is that I never play characters that are like me. But the dangerous thing in being on a TV show for 6 years is that people have seen, did like 127 episodes. So people assume, and I live in New York, I share my wardrobe with my character. I, dated my co-star who I dated on, who then suddenly was my brother on the show, which is a very strange, very strange thing. This dress was one of the most critical sort of fashion moments of Gossip Girl. This was a Ralph Lauren dress. This was just like such a beautiful look, this little cropped blouse. And I ended up wearing Ralph Lauren to the Met. That was my first year that I was invited to a Met Gala. And I think they only invited me because of this dress. And I even wore crop gloves there because it was like such a sweet look. The impact of the fashion on that show was greater than anything else, greater than the storytelling, greater characters, and it definitely changed.
She went into further detail about the demanding schedule, pointing out that they frequently shot many episodes at once, got lines at the last minute, and lacked a clear plan and character development. Because it seemed more like taking part in a cultural experiment than a staged drama, the fast-paced environment further exacerbated the sense of alienation from the craft.
Gossip Girl? That's like the end of an era for you.
Yes, it is. It's crazy. 6 years. We're finally done. I can't believe it. I literally moved out of my parents' house in Burbank and moved here to New York to shoot Gossip Girl, and now we're done.
So is it bittersweet to walk onto the set tomorrow? Or are you going to celebrate the casting?
But it doesn't feel real. I mean, and we know it's the end, but we're so used to work together every day that we're gonna have withdrawals afterward. But yeah, I'm very celebratory in these final few months, knowing that we're coming to an end and just appreciating the time.
So now, Chanel.
Yes.
Sort of like a Cinderella moment here tonight.
Every moment in Chanel is a Cinderella. This is a beautiful Chanel couture dress, and the dress is held together Chanel jewelry, which is, extra amazing. So yeah, excited to be here.
And I love the fact that you have an actual necklace in your hair.
It's neat, right? I wanted some sort of like tiara because it looked like a princess dress. So
Blake Lively opened up about her early misgivings about working with Penn Badgley on the Gossip Girl set in a 2009 interview that was resurrected by Glamour magazine. Lively acknowledged that she was incensed upon hearing of Badgley's casting and tried to convince her co-stars to disagree with him. "I truly poisoned the entire cast against him," she added. But her opinion soon shifted when she saw how sincere and endearing Badgley was, and within a week she admitted her error.
Glamour UK interview by Blake Lively. Her interview, she admitted to trying to poison the cast Gossip Girl, which is where she made her name, against her co-star Penn Badgley, who played her love interest, Dan Humphrey, on the show. She said, "At first I was so upset that they had hired him, I actually poisoned the whole cast against him." And she goes on to say, "But then they noticed that he was a jerk and was actually a nice, charming person, and almost immediately I realized it too. But it took me about a week to admit it." And here's the thing. Reports were that Blake Lively and Leighton Meester, who played best friends on that show, were not friends during the 6-season run of the show. Leighton Meester and Penn Badgley and other Gossip Girl co-stars have remained silent in the Baldoni legal drama. Neither Meester nor Badgley follow Lively.
Potentially proof positive that there is a history of her doing this type of behavior, going out of her way to talk ish, put out rumors, say bad things, say negative things about other co-stars, either because she just is in her feelings about that person, not happy about that person being in the show, or because she feels, I don't know, maybe because she just wants to start drama for the sake of starting drama. I don't know what it is, but clearly we're seeing the embryo stage, the embryo stasis, the embryo state, the beginnings, right, of this whole thing to what it has flowered or blossomed.
On and off, Lively and Badgley got close in spite of this difficult beginning. Similar to the romantic plot of their characters, Serena Vanda Woodson and Dan Humphrey, they started dating in 2007. In order to prevent their personal relationship from interfering with their career, they acted professionally on set during their 2010 courtship. Taylor Monson, another cast member, implied that Penn Badgley wasn't a nuisance when she stated that she didn't have any negative memories of him. This makes it more likely that Blake Lively was just using her own tale to disparage him. Perhaps Blake's accusations were motivated more by personal prejudice than by Penn's actual misconduct if Taylor had no problems. Lively's continuing legal troubles with her have drawn attention to this unearthed interview. "We are the ones that stopped it." Justin Baldoni, co-star. The legal dispute, which has drawn a lot of media attention, involves serious claims. Other famous people may be involved in the March 2026 trial. Tensions on and off set swiftly turned into a full-fledged court battle during the problematic production of the romance drama It Ends With Us. Once renowned for her flawless public persona and her highly regarded acting abilities, Blake Lively is currently involved in a contentious dispute after claiming that Justin Baldoni acted inappropriately during filming. The charges, which range from a retaliatory smear campaign to suspicions of misconduct, have not only disrupted the film's development but also sparked a media frenzy. TheLawsuitInfo.com was just founded by Justin Baldoni to disseminate information in favor of his defense against Blake Lively's accusations. In an effort to set the scene for the continuing court battle, the website features previously undisclosed emails and texts between Baldoni, Lively, and her husband Ryan Reynolds. But after Blake Lively's lawsuit, Baldoni is clearly upset and worn out. He acknowledged being exhausted in a recent interview and disclosed that he texted the president of the company and his best friend to let them know he wasn't feeling well. He said that he was overworked and lacked the time necessary to rest or recuperate. He and his family have experienced a great deal of emotional pain in spite of their financial prosperity. His comments demonstrate the extent of his suffering brought on by the legal dispute and related controversy. He is obviously struggling as a result of the circumstance, which shows how much the ongoing unrest has affected his well-being. Blake Lively's best friend Taylor Swift hasn't publicly supported her, which calls into question Lively's assertions. Lively's accusations against Justin Baldoni may not be totally true if Swift hasn't spoken up for her, considering her history of vehemently supporting her friends. Swift's choice to not support Lively may be seen as a subliminal hint that there is more to the tale than what is being reported, as silence frequently speaks louder than words. Do you think that Blake Lively's past has affected her present situation? Please share your ideas in the comments section below. Remarks below. Please share your opinions in the comments section below.